So it's been about a week since I went to the Victims Advocate and posted my last video after that, and it's been a bit of a roller coaster since then. Just these moments of real clarity of how to move forward or how to feel, what I feel when I'm processing and thinking about, and then there's these other moments of you know still being fairly lost and confused. A ton of moments of anxiety. Um, since I've made it clear that I'm not really holding back anymore, that I'm not willing to I, sacrifice my mental health to bite my tongue. There's been a lot of tests. I'll put it that way. It's been a lot of these situations that have popped up that have tested my resolve to keep myself at the center of this process. So interesting, actually, that I'm making this video on Valentine's Day because this quote from James Baldwin keeps popping up, either online or Instagram or just all over the place. I'm gonna look for it real quick because it's just been in my purview all day. Let's see. Yeah, it's this: love takes off masks that we fear we cannot live without and know we cannot live within. And I've been reading it and thinking about it in terms of self-love, not just external facing love, and thinking about what I'm doing as, I guess, a way to retry a self-love practice that involves honesty, that involves transparency with myself as much as with anybody else. And I think that's scary, for me and for others involved. Honesty hasn't always been, how do I want to put it, present in my life. I don't know. A lot of my relationships have been sort of plagued with this performance, that's this need to either perform perfection, be the best boyfriend, partner, girlfriend at a time, that I could be, and just perform what I thought folks wanted, or were wanting, or were asking for, or needing, or what have you. So just sort of perform, and then the other side too. I think there's been a lot of misunderstanding of what I mean when I say I want honesty. I think people hear phrases like that all the time and don't take that very seriously, or they've heard that from people, and then when they have been honest to them, it's you know backfired. And so when someone hears it from me, maybe they bring that into it and don't think I mean it or that I can take it. But anyway, that's not here nor there. It's kind of a deviation. I think being honest with myself has forced me to face a lot of hard truths about my past relationships, and one in particular, and how much I still blame myself for falling into this trap of control, and not seeing it or ignoring. Honestly, if I'm really being honest, I did see it, but I chose to ignore it, and I chose to rationalize it. And that was wrapped up in my masculinity. As much as I desire to and want to constantly make sure that my masculinity is not functioning as some transversion of cis heteromasculinity, it's inescapable that it gets shaped by that sometimes, and that how my masculinity shows up in a world that expects a particular type of cis hetero, white, able-bodied, etc., masculinity, means that mine can't be seen, or mine gets renegotiated and translated through that lens, and misunderstood or invisible. And I do that to myself too. I think through my masculinity in those terms. So when I was slowly finding myself in a situation where I was losing control over aspects of my life, or felt like others were controlling aspects of my life, I chose to rationalize it in the sense that I told myself that that was just not possible. That it wasn't possible for a femme-identified person to control a masculine-identified person. So I fell into that trope. I fell into that binary cis thinking. I think part of me did that because I just, as much as I hated being in that situation, I didn't want to lose the relationship either. I wrap up a lot of worth and value in what other people think of me, especially partners. Like most people, I want to be loved. I want to feel loved. I want to feel valued and worthy of that love. And so when I do, I hold on with every part of me, and I don't want to let go, even if letting go is the healthier option, it's a better option. And so I held on, and I rationalized until it was too late, until I lost all control, until virtually every aspect of my life was being written and narrated by another person. And I couldn't, or maybe still wouldn't, shift it. I was more willing to just let that keep happening than to admit that I was being controlled. But I guess we all know that that's what happens in relationships where there are psychological forms of abuse, is that we pretend that it's not there. Some of us think of ourselves as like, it couldn't possibly happen to me. No matter how much we don't want to judge other people for the abuse that they experience at the hands of others, there was still a part of me that was saying that can't happen to me. But it did. So that's why I needed to go to Victims Advocate last week, was to be able to name it and process it and understand it in this reality that I was trying and still trying to internalize. I think the tough part is that in the process of me trying to do all of this, there is still, the world is still going on in the background. The narrative that's been there for the last 4 years is still out there, and it's still floating around, passed around, getting convoluted or confused or whatever else it's becoming when it gets passed on from one person to another, from one place to another, and it keeps hitting me back. Keep experiencing this blowback from it, and so the control is still there, and so I can't untangle myself from it. As much as now, at least I can acknowledge it's there. I don't know how to get out of it. And it's hard to get out of something where it doesn't even necessitate the other person trying to do the controlling anymore. So it's expanded so much that there are dozens of people that are helping maintain the control, that are helping keep this story alive. And every time I hear it or have to process it or talk through the story with someone, I have to relive it. I have to remember everything I said and didn't say, and everything that was said to me and about me and done. To remember the people that aren't in my life anymore, relationships that I've lost and that I can't get back. I can't do anything about the relationships that I lost that I don't even know I've lost, or that have changed in some fundamental way that I don't even realize they have. It's and I wish I could get the world to just pause for a second so I can deal with the internal stuff, not have it get complicated all the time with the external stuff. I'm interrupting my cat's nap as I'm doing this, so she has a lot of feelings, as you can see. She's not happy about this. She also hates being on camera, so she's not looking at y'all. Anyway, I am obviously getting less and less vague as these videos go. It's not necessarily like some purposeful planned out, this is what I'm going to reveal next week. This isn't a reality show. It's just me making choices about what I'm willing to share and ready to share, and what I still have to completely understand for myself first, before I let out there, or what I still have to just sit on, because I look like this. This isn't a woe is me, I'm a dude in a dude's world. It's it's messy. It's really, really messy. To talk about experiencing abuse and control and being able to name it and talk about it and pull back a narrative that's out there that's false, that's been the tool of abuse and control for so long, without stepping on a lot of toes, without triggering the shit out of a lot of people, without messing with people's conceptions of relationships and sexual violence and relationship abuse and dynamics and gender and sexuality and all of that shit. And so there's just a lot of roadblocks, and I have to be careful, and I have to be somewhat intentional. We know you have feelings. At least I can rely on this one, right, to keep me honest. She also reminds me that I'm very, very lucky to have people who have stuck with me through all of this, especially people who've felt the burn from some of this blowback themselves. And I can't imagine those were easy decisions to make, to choose me in those situations and in those circumstances. So I appreciate you if you're watching this, and I know some of you are. And I don't necessarily blame those of you that had to peace out, especially when you started feeling that burn. I don't know what I would have done in your places. It still hurts that you left. Some more than others, admittedly, but it still hurt. If you're one of those folks, you want to talk, like I want to talk. I want to reconnect. I want to understand and be understood. Now this is going on for like almost 20 minutes, and I hate making these really long videos. But I guess I had to also breathe through this a little bit. My anxiety has spiked a little bit today. So I had to take my time. Anyway, I'm sorry it took so long. Sorry it got here. But compensation, here's another visual of my super cute cat taking a nap and trusting me to hold her. I'll see y'all next time.